Hello, Year 7s. I hope that you are well. In today's lesson, our aim is to understand the process of photosynthesis. I hope that you're in a quiet place away from all distractions and that you're fully equipped to begin the lesson. Our first task is to complete the retrieval practice. Please pause the video and attempt the 5 questions. Number 1 says, which vessel carries water around the plant? That would be the xylem. This is a part of the vascular system of the plant, and it is a straw-like structure that allows the plant to drink or absorb water from the ground. Number 2 says, at which part of the plant is water taken in? That would be through the root hair cells that we learned about in the previous lesson. They have a large surface area just for these purposes. Number 3 states, how can carbon dioxide get into the plant? And that would be through stomata, found in the underbelly of the leaf. These tiny holes or pores are like windows that allow the plant to absorb carbon dioxide. Number 4 states, which structure anchors the plant into the ground? And that would be the roots. This structure is specifically adapted for this purpose. And finally, which vessel carries glucose or food around the plant? That would be the phloem, which moves glucose and amino acids to the rest of the plant. Our success criteria in today's lesson is to know the parts of a plant necessary for photosynthesis, to know the equation for photosynthesis, and to know the different conditions that may affect photosynthesis in plants. So, how do plants grow? Plant cells in the upper surface of leaves have chloroplast, which contain the green pigment called chlorophyll. Sunlight is like the fire that produces or provides heat like a cooker. The plant uses light energy in order to make food. The chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight and uses it to create energy, which is converted to carbon dioxide from the air, from the soil, into glucose. Oxygen is also produced, which animals and humans need in order to breathe. It is the chlorophyll that absorbs light energy from the sun in order to make photosynthesis happen. So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is, the word itself is a combination of 2 root words, photo, which means light, and synthesis, which means to mix or put together. Photosynthesis is the process plants undergo to transform energy for use. They need 3 key ingredients or reactants: water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight or heat energy. And as a product, sugars and oxygen are formed. So why does it happen? Photosynthesis occurs because plants need energy to survive and perform daily functions just as we do. They use this energy to flower or fruit as well as reproduce and respire. This energy exists as glucose molecules. Glucose is a sugar. Here's a quick progress check for you, Year 7s. Please pause the video and attempt these 3 questions now. So, what substances do plants need to photosynthesize? They need carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. What products does photosynthesis create? That would be oxygen and glucose. And what type of energy does photosynthesis use? Sunlight and light energy. Please pause the video and correct your work now. So what do plants use glucose for? The glucose produced by photosynthesis is used for a variety of things. Some glucose is used straight away in respiration. Some glucose is converted into starch and other substances for storage. And some glucose is used to make new chemicals, such as proteins, sugars, and fats that the plants also needs to function properly. Proteins are something called polymers. This is a term that many older pupils struggle with. They are made from different monomers called amino acids. You could actually go and look up those two words, monomers and polymers, as a part of your independent study. So what are the products of photosynthesis? Remember that glucose is produced in plant cell using light energy trapped during photosynthesis. This means that glucose is a store of chemical energy. This energy can be released during respiration. One key fact that we need to learn about glucose is that it is extremely soluble in water. This is why starch is better for long-term storage. It is compact, so you can fit a lot more in it. It is insoluble, therefore it won't draw water into the cell via osmosis. Most plant cells try to keep a good storage of starch, which is what we get in our tubers like potato. And they need the starch so they can break it down into glucose later, especially when photosynthesis is not happening so much, such as during the night or during the winter. Oxygen, if you recall, has the atomic number 8, and is found in group 16 of the periodic table. It has the chemical symbol, if you remember, O. We need it as humans in order to inhabit planet Earth. As we breathe it in and breathe out carbon dioxide, the plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. It's a delicate balance because of problems caused by deforestation, which you'll learn about later. And that is the process of the products of photosynthesis. So, can you remember 3 things plants use glucose for? Please pause the video and have a go at doing these now. Well done, year 7, if you remember the respiration. Another one would be for storage as starch, and another one would be to create new chemicals like proteins and fats. Right, year 7s. Here are some of the key terminologies that you will need in order to understand the process of photosynthesis. We need the word equation and the symbol equation. So have a go at using the keywords on the screen to help you to write both the word and chemical equation for photosynthesis. Please check your work now. Hope you wrote carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light leads to oxygen plus glucose. So that's our word equation. And our symbol equation would be CO2, which is carbon dioxide, plus H2O, which is water, in the presence of light or sun energy, will lead to sugars, C6H12O6, plus oxygen, which is O2. Tick it if you got it right, correct it if you weren't too sure. And finally, year 7, here's a 6-mark question for you. When you're finished, please email your teacher with your answer and get them to correct it for you. It'd be a good idea if you wrote the question down so they knew what you were responding to. So plants make their own food during photosynthesis, and water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of light leads to glucose plus energy. Describe how the reactants needed for this process get into the plant and what happens to the product. Key points to think about: your symbol equation, where photosynthesis happens in the cell, how do the reactants needed for this process get into the plant, and uses of glucose, plus how it is stored. So take your time, have a go at responding to this question now. And don't forget to put the arrow in here. Well done, year 7. Fantastic listening.